was just another night tossing voice in a dingy dive bar.
What's the problem, Miss Lake?
My mother, but she was murdered.
How do you know?
Because someone phoned me saying he murdered her and he would murder me as well.
It's not easy being a detective with a wooden partner. The job was to solve a murder.
I don't know how it's all connected.
Wonderful material for a crime novel where everyone is a suspect. We're in a dead zone.
I'm just sick and tired of being your prop.
You're finally thinking with the right hit.
Somebody stop them before they kill us all!
I think you're onto something.
Well, another trouble I have is that Mr. Trillo is very annoying.
Between me and you, this guy is annoying too.
Welcome once again to The Radical Imagination. I'm your host, Jim Vredos. We're thrilled to welcome once again to The Radical Imagination the multi-talented filmmaker, director, ventriloquist, pianist, creator of the cult internet classic Trillo and Suede, and all-around mensch, Jonathan Geffner. We'll be discussing his new indie film, Dummy Detective, a noir comedy just out and featured on Amazon Prime. It's a tour de force about a ventriloquist detective, Geffner as Ventrilo, and his wooden partner, Sam Suede, who are trapped in a remote, creepy bed and breakfast in upstate New York with an odd group of eccentric guests, one of whom is a serial killer. The ensemble cast of suspects include a sensational, enigmatic performance by Sean Young as the hostess of the B&B, Harriet Hubbard. She's joined by a quirky former ventriloquist and current late-night radio host Elliot Black, played to understated perfection by Ed Altman. Deborah Twiss plays the tantalizing, seductive femme fatale, Chloe Lake, the damsel in distress, who erotically lights up the screen as Ventrilo's potential, but never consummated love interest.
Woo, good job.
Wait a minute. Okay, along with Jonathan, we've joined today by the iconic actress, Sean Young, who gained prominence as the female lead alongside Harrison Ford in the classic science fiction film Blade Runner. She played the lover of a ruthless Washington politician, Gene Hackman, alongside Kevin Costner in No Way Out. And her many other credits include Dune and Wall Street, and she was the main antagonist in Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Deborah Twiss is an actress who's been a director, writer, and producer of major indie films, including the European cult hit A Gun for Jennifer. She also wrote, starred in, and directed A Cry from Within, starring Eric Roberts. Her many other credits include Confidence Game, featuring Sean Young, Crazy Town, and A Beautiful Distraction, also starring Sean Young. Ed Altman is an actor whose numerous stage credits include 4, where he won Best Actor, The Counterfeit Moron, Honor, The Oracle, and Adjust the Procedure. On screen, he's been in numerous international film festival offerings, including Top Hate, Dragon Eats Eagle, and Biff and Me. And on TV, he's appeared in Food That Built America, A Good Cop, and in HBO's The Vow. Given the shadowy, bizarre state of the country and world, the Dummy Detective might just be the antidote we need for our time. If it is, that might be the most bizarre plot twist of all for this terrifically entertaining movie. So welcome all to The Radical Imagination. Really excited and thrilled to talk with you, discuss this really incredibly wonderful, entertaining movie. As I say, maybe, just maybe, it may be the antidote that millions of us need to watch in the midst of the bizarro world that surrounds us. So thank you again, all, for being here. It's really an honor, a pleasure.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
I left my TV on so I can hear the noise. Are you guys registering it? It's like in the other room. It's quiet, right?
Can't really hear anything. No.
Good. Okay, then I won't run off. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Okay. We're what do you have on? That doesn't make a difference.
It's TCM, of course, always.
Okay, there you go. Turn the channel. Classic movie, of course. So, Jonathan, let's just start with you generally. You've been on the show a number of times. Your daughter Sabrina's been on. And we know you're such a creative person. You've been writing, you've been playing for so many, many years, and you've now accomplished a really major feat. You've gotten this incredible movie out. It's on Amazon Prime. Tell us how this happened. Tell us how this came from out of your drawer, right? Of all the things you've been writing and now into a finished, very creative, very accomplished work.
It's been a long journey, some of which you know, Jim. I know from some of the other things that I've discussed, the projects we discussed on your show previously. So the main characters, Trillo and SUEDE, a detective duo, ventriloquist and wooden partner. The main goals were to do produced, packaged products, that could be more of a statement of an actual story and so forth. So this is the first feature film that I've gotten produced. I wrote several scripts over these years for feature films, but this is the first one that I eventually figured out a way to produce it.
And before we ask you how you figured this out and get everybody else involved here, would you like to at least glance behind you and introduce your wooden partner there to the rest of us who may not know who that is?
That's Sam SUEDE. I'm his partner when we are in character. I'm Ventrilo. He's in costume. I'm out of costume right now. He wanted to just watch. He was very curious what would this interview be like. But if you want, quickly, you can say hello. He does need my help generally. That's
generally, but not.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Wow.
It's wonderful.
This is old times, just like old times here. Jim, and there's Sean, Deb, and Ed. Gee, what an occasion. This is the real holiday spirit come to life.
Did you miss us?
Of course I did. What, is that a question? I missed you like crazy, Sean. Also, Deb. I mean, that's also a question. My God, I got such a crush on her, but she knows that. And Ed, there's Ed. I gotta tell you, Ed, I don't have a crush on you, but I missed you.
Well, I have a crush on you, so it was.
Oh, gee. Well, join the crowd, Ed.
There is a big crowd also, and it's so wonderful to see you again. But you're missing one thing, your hat. I'm used to seeing you in the hat, but that could be another time. You're
I'm
taking
fedoraless. I'm topless right now. I know.
Okay.
So it's Trillo here. I
Well,
know this.
Well, this is not X-rated here, but okay. You all look wonderful, and thank you again for being here and in spirit and now in reality. And we love you as a character, and many happy holidays to come. So you guys put this feature together. Now, how did you bring in such talented actors? How were you able to do that and get people to become part of this wonderful film that's now really gaining more and more recognition, and certainly is on Amazon Prime, and it's really moving in there. So congratulations again on that. But
well, thank you, Jim. I think it's all because of me. You see, when everybody they saw that I'm going to be in this film, I mean, how could they resist? How could they say no to that? So I think that's the secret solution. And right now, I guess I'm gonna just take a back seat and listen to this thing. Curious what you guys are gonna say. Nice to meet you. I'm gonna relax now.
Good. Take
I
care.
was I always wondered, well, I came in because Deb and I had worked together before, and I think you were one of the producers on this, right? And you said, do you want to read the script? What I was wondering is how Deb and Jonathan met. How did you
Well,
guys meet?
casting
I
call.
auditioned.
Yeah, she answered the casting call for the role, and she won it
No, really,
hands
I
down.
missed it. Through Ed?
Casting call.
No, really?
Yeah, no, I auditioned.
Okay.
I submitted an audition, and then yeah, and I mean, I remember they were looking at all these different people for the role that you were playing, but I as soon as I saw it, all I could imagine was you. And I was, come on, guys, come on.
See,
And they
it pays
saw
to know people.
it, but
Yes.
yeah, and it was, I mean, it would have been I can't even imagine what the film would have been without you. Like you did such an amazing job. Even
It
like
was fun.
and acting with you, and there was there were so many times I couldn't stop laughing. I thought I was going to pee myself.
There was the only scene I remember like that is when we're on the end of the bed and I'm trying to kiss you and Deb, and I don't really know why I was trying to do this. We were sort of making this thing up, and Deb started to crack up, and I think I put my arm around your mouth so nobody would see it. It was quite cute. Did that end up in the picture?
I don't think that take it ended up.
Okay, all right. It was
No, not. But there was a scene with Sean with the knife, right? That you were cutting. So we'll get to that. Although we could go right to that right now and watch that. This is
yeah.
Sean with the knife. All right, and cutting Deb's hair. Is that what?
No, a thread that she said
thread from her
when she
sweater
was
or
giving me a
whatever.
massage.
All right, so let's.
Well, allegedly, supposedly, that's all she was doing.
Yeah.
I
Dun,
see.
dun,
Okay.
dun.
All right, so here we go with the scene with Sean and the knife cutting the thread off of Deborah's sweater.
You are a lovely woman, and you shouldn't have to suffer such distress. Soon you will sleep long and peacefully.
Chloe, open the door.
Elvira was just giving me a neck massage. I mean, Mrs. Hubbard.
You left the door unlocked again.
Oh,
What's
sorry.
with the knife?
Oh, I saw a thread on Miss Lake's collar, and I was going to snip it.
I see it.
Yes, well, good night then.
Oh, Mrs. Hubbard, the Scalawags gang used to be active in upstate New York around here, right?
Oh, dreadfully, yes. It was the infamous Grimsley bank heist a few years back that sullied their reputation, created a very nefarious attitude around them. And immediately after the heist, one of the robbers murdered the others, then fled with the millions of dollars.
A lot of dough here.
The boss will be pleased.
What happened to him?
Perhaps the Scalawags found him and dealt with him. Whacked him, as you say.
So, that Scalawags guy who double-crossed his buddies, is his identity known?
Oh, no, I don't believe it is, no, I don't think so. Oh, but do you think that the Grimsley bank heist has anything to do with Mr. Grimsley's murder? Well, I'll leave you three to it. Good night.
Oh my goodness. Yes, my goodness. We've got to catch up a little bit on what's happening here, Jonathan. Help us out here. Then we'll play. I think what we'll do is play the first clip with you and Deb coming to your office asking for help.
There is. Yeah, there's a murderer on the loose in this
Who got
reclusive
it? Yes.
bed and breakfast where everyone assorted odd guests and the odd ventriloquist detective himself are all trapped for at least the night because of a hurricane, a storm raging, and no cell phone and that kind of thing. So everyone is a suspect and everyone is in danger. And Detective Trillo and SUEDE, of course, have to unravel everything.
Right. And in the town of, appropriately, World's End.
Right.
That's where this inn is.
It's outside of
it's outside of Yonkers, right?
Yeah, outside of World's End, a little more remote, but a couple of miles from World's End. Yeah.
Got it. Well, let's go back to clip 1 now. This is the initial scene where you and Deb meet, and Deb, you come as the damsel in distress asking for help.
Don't give me that look, SUEDE. It's open. She's a looker. Can I help you, Miss
Lake. Chloe Lake. I need your services, Mr. Trillo.
You see, Mr. Trillo, some folks appreciate our talent. What's the occasion, Miss Lake? Birthday party, communion, bar mitzvah?
I don't need a ventriloquist. I need a detective. You are a detective, aren't you, Mr. Trillo? I heard that you use your dummies to question suspects. Throws them off guard.
What else did you hear, Miss Lake?
That it's effective. You've got me talking to one of your dummies, or should I say detective partner.
Ezra's not my detective partner. Sam SUEDE is. I'm their underpaid assistant.
Can you talk to people without a third party involved?
What's the problem, Miss Lake?
I received a call about my mother when I was at an audition for a play. By the time I got to my mother's house in Canarsie, she was already... The coroner said it was a heart attack. But she was murdered.
How do you know?
Because someone phoned me saying he murdered her and he would murder me as well.
Could be a crank.
He knew details only a murderer would know.
Did you recognize the voice?
No. Then I received another call this afternoon, a death threat. He knew everywhere I'd been and where I was.
Sorry, I can't help you, Miss Lake. I'm leaving for Cleveland, working a case. There are loads of private detectives in New York.
Most private dicks are corrupt, just like the cops. Pay each other for leads, go to the same bars and brothels. I need an outsider, Mr. Trillo. Like you.
What makes you think I'm...
An outsider. That's what people say about you, because you're weird. I would be terribly grateful.
Sorry, Miss Lake.
My number. I do hope you change your mind, Mr. Trillo.
Leaving for Cleveland? You
Cleveland.
Cleveland? What kind of line is that? Listen, we're going to get in on this very, very soon about the scene with your discussion of ventriloquy, but Jonathan, you play your role pretty straight here. You know, in your other Trillo and SUEDE episodes, very self-deprecating, but not this one as much, right? What was that about?
I think in my previous projects, SUEDE deprecates me a lot more than the self-deprecation. But yeah, Trillo is more outwardly what do I say, manifesting neuroticism. Here you can see Trillo's definitely got his issues. It comes during the course of the film, but I did want to play it a little bit more like straight typical noir detective.
Humphrey Bogart, a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. So this was also a film about your own role for many, many years as a ventriloquist, and that's played out to a certain extent with Ed in this wonderful, wonderful scene where you speak about your ventriloquy. Is that correct to say?
Correct to say, you mean that it's part of my, well, since I wrote it, yes, of course, Ed being a former and failed ventriloquist because of an extreme mental breakdown issue, of course, that's also part of the whole psyche that I want to delve into of, what brings people to do such a weird profession, what drew me to have this passion for
Right.
ventriloquism, and also the double edge of it. Like, it's a talent, but is it a burden as well? Could it be a curse as well?
Absolutely. And wow, this scene with Ed that we're going to play here perfectly captures that dilemma, isn't it? Is that true? Yeah. So let's play this, you and Ed talking about your profession.
Forgot to turn it off. Everyone in World's End heard me, damn God. Why didn't you stop me, Dinky?
You don't vent him anymore, do you? Make him talk.
I know what vent means. No. I don't.
Why not?
I'm sure Mrs. Hubbard told you.
That incident at the nightclub? Ancient history. Why don't you try again?
I don't need to. He communicates with me silently.
You talk to him and he answers telepathically?
Sometimes. Haven't you ever found that you don't need to, with you and Mr.
What
Suede?
does Dinky tell you to do?
Mainly hold him, pick him up, but I can't.
Why not? What are you afraid of? His power over you. What if he told you to do something that you know is wrong, something wild, something evil, criminal?
I'm trying to talk to you as one ventriloquist to another, and you're trying to hold it against me.
Maybe it's all subconscious. You follow his orders, unaware of it.
How about you, Mr. Trillo? Do you still control Suede?
I'm asking the questions here, Mr. Black.
You're afraid to answer. You're losing control also, if you haven't already lost it.
You're afraid to even pick up Dinky.
Someday you'll have no control over Suede. That's what you're afraid of. That he'll say horrible things to embarrass you, the way that Dinky humiliated me. People say you're crazy, like they said about me. Will you then retreat into obscurity the way I did, away from the scorn and mocking eyes of an ignorant society? Latch onto a more socially acceptable obsession, like I've found with my vintage songs. Something that stirs dark emotions within you, but reminds you that you're alone forever. Just you and your dummy in a black hole of utter despair.
That's very eloquent, Mr. Black, but you're talking about yourself, not me. If you're hiding any information about these murders, you better tell me now.
Our ability to breathe life into our dummies, not a gift from God, Mr. Trillo. It's a curse from the devil. The price, our souls.
Wow, wow. Who's the patient? Who's the therapist here? Are we on
Fabulous. I haven't seen that before.
I think we're in waiting for Godot now, Beckett here or something. But wow, that was heavy duty. Ed, you turned the tables there. What was going on?
Yeah, well, I mean, and it's funny, I just had the same conversation with my wife just before we did it. No. But No, I mean, that's my favorite. That was my favorite bit from the film, quite frankly. I mean, of the work that I was doing, because I mean, Mr. Black really is kind of like the emotional crux of of the movie, and the distinction Jonathan draws, so the existential distinction between being the puppet and the master, and who's actually in charge. I mean, to me, it actually struck as like a real. I mean, I don't know, Jonathan, you can comment on that, but it seems like something that at some point maybe you do go through, like who's actually the real personality or who's in charge of who. But it was just the way it was written. It was just so much fun to kind of like, go to this sort of dark place and, all right, you're blaming me now and everyone's blaming me for this, but you're in exactly the same boat and it's just a matter of time.
But yeah,
It was fun to watch work. It was a lot of fun. You're fun, Ed.
but Mrs. Hubbard, I mean, Sean, you're the one that's in charge of this bed and breakfast. You know everybody's secrets here. You know the stories. You write murder mysteries.
Spoiler alert. Well, it's okay.
Oh,
It's
okay.
I don't know. I just enjoyed being a part of an ensemble, and it
Right.
was very fun to watch Deb and actually the other characters that were there too. And because the writing was unique, and to me, I remember Jonathan let me see the picture, and it had the original music on it, and I said, okay, that music's really not going to work, and I said, this is a comedy, right? But the music was very somber. And also, because we all played our characters seriously, that's the thing. We don't leap at the comedy. We have to keep our context as like it's a drama, like this is really happening. And so I said that the music has to be a bit sillier, to kind of match the picture. Even though we all did a serious job trying to play the comedy, the music that you need to sort of back it up has to waver over to a little over, a little sillier, right? And then I remember we had the conversation, which I just remember this. This is a comedy, right? This is a comedy. But that sometimes you kind of, when you write something and it has to be delivered straight, you can forget that, especially when you were carrying as much as Jonathan was. I mean, Jonathan was carrying quite a bit on his shoulders as we were going through it. So I just, as we get the picture more together, we're together. I think the hardest part of that for Jonathan was realizing he'd have to spend more money, and that's never fun for a producer. That's like, fuck, oops, sorry. And,
We're not saying
like, oh, I'm going to have to spend more money. But I think it was well worth it, Jonathan, because now I think the music really fits the movie. And, I love watching people deliver seriously silly lines. They're funny. They're very funny that way. To me, that was entertaining for me to watch. And everyone here did a really, really great job in doing that and accomplishing that.
Yes, well, it was well worth it, Sean. I mean, I'm living in a homeless shelter now, but it was worth it. Luckily, it didn't break me, broke my budget a bit, but it was very good advice at that time. And we had what's called picture lock, which is that all the video I thought was finished, well, all the cuts, all the shot selection and cuts were exactly finished, and then when you change picture lock after announcing it to everybody involved in the post-production, then it becomes very problematic, especially if you've begun to do sound design and coloring, so which we had begun to do, and fair amount of it. So that's what was a tremendous headache. It ran into more money. And another thing, the reason I went along was that was one reason I agreed that the music needs to be different. And I hired somebody. I found somebody who's great. I think he did a much better score. Yeah. And then the other thing was I got some feedback from Deb, a couple other people too, but specifically, mostly from Deb about some of the what I thought was final version that she said it really should be edited differently, mainly tightened up in a number of sections. And so looking back on it, and I had to agree, Deb was right also. So that's when okay, we're redoing Picture Lock, and that it delayed I don't know, 7, 8 months to finish the picture because other problems evolved from that. However, I'm glad I did because the finished product.
But I'd like to say something about that too, because there were some people that didn't understand, that knew you were new to this whole post-production process. They were giving you lines of lies. So I edit often. I under a different name. I edit under Freckles Charrington. I actually edit whole movies under Freckles Charrington. But the thing is, like, people don't know Deborah Twiss edits. So when somebody tells you, oh, picture's been locked and now it's going to be impossible, you have to go, it's like, it's the easiest thing in the world. You open up your last project, clone it, and then you do these other things. You could always go back to the other one because it's just a version. It's like different documents that you save in your hard drive, except it's like a project file. To me, it made me so angry and so insulted that they were trying to tell you something that anybody that even does 2 seconds of research realizes that was all a lie. And
but we won't mention any names.
I didn't mention names. I did not mention names. No, I did not.
That's show business, isn't it, though? Because everybody wants to be an expert, and everybody, I think a producer gets asked a 600 questions a day minimum, right? So everybody's an expert until they're not.
Well, it's true in the academic world too. It's true in a lot of other worlds. I'm very curious, what sort of music did you have before? Because as we all know, Jonathan is an incredibly accomplished pianist. I mean, what sort of music did you have before, and what changed?
Yeah. Well, first I'll mention I'm not a composer, so as a pianist, I could play all kinds of music, but I didn't want to just have a piano score. I wanted to have a variety of instruments, and different styles incorporated. I wanted to be noirish, sort of a neo-noir, but I also wanted it to have more character to it. Specifically, what Sean was advocating for, a lot of lighter, playful, quirky, a lot of spots, a lot of scenes needed that as a counterbalance. So I found luckily someone who loved the script and loved the movie, having seen the original Picture Lock, and so therefore he was willing to do it for a very, very low fee. He has some good credentials. He orchestrated the last 2 Harry Potter films. So we assisted John Williams in doing that. So he really is legit, really a great composer. And we discussed in detail all these things, what we wanted for each scene, and it came to basically I agreed with almost everything he said right off the bat, and he did it.
So interested in both what you all attempted to do there, intertwine comedy with a serious crime story in a sense, and yet you threw in some of the playful stuff. I mean, Deb before said, it was hard to keep a straight face. I mean, I see that a lot in you, especially Deb. I could see you wanting to just break out laughing all the time, and Sean also as well, and Ed. So how did you accomplish it? Give us an example today of something that that our audience might be able to relate to in terms of what you tried to do as an ensemble here. And I thought it was also fascinating how you helped each other. Your egos had become enmeshed in the effort, the cooperative effort. And it really showed, and you were a real team and not just some, ego-driven narcissist, as I'm sure we all know.
I found a scene with Ed in the main room with when all of us were working in the main room. I don't recall what was it that, but somebody like choked you or something happened, and then when
He like hits my throat. Yeah.
right, and then talking like this. I remember I was luckily off camera, but the way that you did it, I found it very amusing because and also when you're going up and down the stairs, I found that very fun too. And there's a thing about Ed's character, Mr. Black, is that the name?
Yes.
Yes. That he's like one of these peppermint patties that always has black clouds over him. Like no matter where he goes, it's like raining, you know. And he just he humps along the show that I found Ed very fun to watch. And I think I'm only in one or two scenes with you. I don't maybe that was more.
Yeah, and Jonathan added some nice touches too. So with things that you don't actually see, like I'm always falling down the stairs. So that's always talked about, and I'm at the bottom of the stairs screaming or moaning.
Yeah.
And then I'm always having accidents or just being clumsy.
A hypochondriac too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, oh, gargle, you know, like just like always a cloud right over his head and something happening. That was
he's creating.
And I like the way you know we got through that because it was just enormously amusing for us, the other actors, to take in.
Yeah,
it's also a testament. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well,
No,
this is a testament to the script too. That and I would say to some extent it's to the direction that there's all these little things put in there because obviously the funniest things are the things when you're not trying to be funny. So the straighter, as Sean was saying, the straighter you deliver the lines, the funnier it'll be because the actual humor that's inherent in the lines will come out more on its own. But Rob, who directed it, was pretty good too about saying, you know, when you're doing that, be peeling an orange or something, or, you know, when you're going back up the stairs, trip over a couple of, I mean, things I didn't think of that were actually very good suggestions and actually help draw out and build character.
Yeah, Rob, actually, I agree with you. He was a great director for this because he's got the same sixth sense of humor that this script deserves and needs. And it really it worked. I mean, there were little nuances that he would give me, like little tips. He'd be like, no, when you do this, do that. And when you do, like when you look at Sean, like, you know, think for a second, you know, this thing. And it was good. Like he did a really, really decent job. And I gotta say, like the lighting and the camera work are what you'd get on a $10 million film or more.
It would have been nice to have $10 million. I think, you know, it would have been super nice, or even $500,000, right?
Yeah, I know. But I mean,
really
literally,
nice.
like the look of the film is what makes it really sell as being this noir. It really does. And that's just, it's so exciting. I'm still like every day, I'm just so grateful to have been part of this. And thank you. And I have to say, back to Ed though, Ed is a very, very accomplished theater actor. Like I've seen him in a couple of things already, and he's really like.
I saw him in one thing. What was the thing I saw?
He's good.
Oh, I loved it.
Oh yeah, that's the one that's one of the ones I saw too. Yeah, no, he's fantastic. And then I also saw him in the film, the black and white noir that he did. Actually shot in the same place. You're in, Sean.
Oh.
Sean has a scenery chewing scene in that is hilarious.
Yes. Oh, yeah,
it's fun. I mean, it's, you know, it's like they say in show business, the highs are high and the lows are low, and hopefully you just have more highs than you have lows, right? And I don't think you can be an actor and not, especially for any length of time, and not understand the roller coaster of what this business can be. It can be great fun. And that's what I try to stick to now. And luckily I'm old enough that I have my pension and Social Security and residuals that you know, I'm not going, I need money to work, you know. So it's much more fun when you don't have that kind of pressure. And I wish everybody had that in life, which is just to be able to do a show for the fun of it.
That's such a great point. And again, the understatedness of your work. Less is more, in a sense. Just a very personal thing. My next door neighbor for many years was an actor who passed on now several years ago, J.T. Walsh. I don't know if you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
well, J.T. Walsh was in Blade Runner, wasn't he?
I feel like he was. I'm gonna look him
he
up.
was in a whole lot of movies, 60 movies in 10 years and so on. And I know how grueling that was for him, and it literally killed him, got a heart attack from it. But the what you're saying, Sean, is so correct. I mean, it could be a brutal industry, and it can others, of course, but the highs and lows. I mean, he literally next door was selling women's cosmetics, and suddenly he got a position working with Mamet on Glenn Ross in Broadway. Totally changed his life, and et cetera, et cetera. And so that's not going anywhere, but it just back.
Well, no, the truth is that when you get a great part, we know it. We're like, you read something, and in 30 pages in, if it's crap, you go, oh, okay. What can I do with this that's going to be meaningful or under the circumstances I've given? But when you read something that's good, you're like, okay, this is actually good, because you read so much of these things, immediately if you got a shot of making it fly, and that's what most actors want to be able to do is to make it sing.
And he always wanted to be part of an ensemble in New York. He didn't want to go to Hollywood, and he did, and he always was typecast as the bad guy. His father was a military brat, so he's always sort of a rebel there, and that fit into that role. And I said, anyway, but again, the difficulty of making it in this world in your world here is incredible, and I just have all the admiration and respect for you for sticking this out, and it so comes across the love that you have for your craft. And what I'd like to do is also let's have that final clip of in the show there where all the main characters are enjoying Sean your shepherd's pie at the very end, and this is when Jonathan arrives as well, I believe. So here it is, all the characters at once in this scene.
Mr. Black, are you all right?
It's the rain and the thunder.
Excuse me, Mrs. Hubbard.
Yes, Mrs. Grimsley.
What is this?
Shepherd's pie.
Where's the potato?
Les Saison style.
I love pie.
Take it away. I'll wait for the main course.
Actually, it is the main course. You see, we didn't anticipate these many guests, but fortunately, we had enough pies on hand.
They look like they were frozen.
Precisely. Last year.
Could I have mine to go, please?
Oh.
There's a hair in mine.
Les Saison style. Miss Lake, do join us for supper.
I'm leaving.
Well, it's like no World's End taxi is going to come here at this hour.
And call one from another town. I don't care where. Just get one for me.
Please, calm down, my dear.
I cannot stay here.
Well, why don't you just join us for a little shepherd pie?
I want a taxi now.
Welcome. Do you want a room, sir?
Yes.
Oh, well, we happen to have one available.
Oh, but Miss Hubbard, I just decided I'm gonna stay.
I wasn't counting your room, love. I was expecting you would stay.
I have more luggage in the taxi.
Oh, he must have gotten a taxi from far away. A World's End driver would know better than to drive here at night.
Beautiful, wonderful. Now, who are the Grimsleys here? The other characters are Hortense and Archibald, and I guess Hortense's Dr. Cox.
Yes, Dr. Cox is their supposed Mrs. Grimsley's personal physician and chauffeur.
and whatnot.
Etc.
Now, so Jonathan, what did you have in mind when we're introducing these people? Are we talking a little bit? Because I know we love the Marx Brothers here. Is this a little bit of Groucho and Harpo making fun of the socialites, or what? Maybe I'm reading.
Gosh, I never thought of that consciously or directly. Yeah, I'm a huge Marx Brothers fan, and yes, some of their humor, I'm sure, has influenced what I write and characters, etc. But I didn't consciously, try to redo or copy a Marx Brothers movie. But now that you mention it, Mrs. Grimsley is kind of like Mrs. Rittenhouse in Animal Crackers. So
Yes.
yeah, they're probably subconsciously, I think that she was a model for it.
I think it was. So there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the influences that let's spend a little time on the influences in your own lives, artistically, creatively. Sean, who is important? Who really impacted on your career, your vision of who you may be, and how does it manifest itself in your own work?
When I was 15, I lived in Cleveland Heights, and they had this after school movie hour, and although my TV was black and white, but I watched Singing in the Rain and Wuthering Heights and a lot of noir stuff and Wizard of Oz and things like that. And I was very taken by it. And then I started taking the bus to Case Western Reserve University. They had a retro theater, and they always showed a movie on Friday night. So I would actually get on the bus and go watch it. So I could definitely say that old movies, were like my foundation. And then at an early stage in my career, at age 20, I was hired to do Blade Runner, which was also very much a noir style picture. The lighting on that show was just amazing. And so I would stand or sit next to Jordan Cronenweth and that's always where I find myself on a set, is next to the camera, because I find that the most interesting. And he was a lot of fun, and he was very interesting. And over the years, sitting by the camera and talking to the DP, the director of photography, I find it gives me a sense of what's going on, like how it's working. And on this film, there was Yuri and the people who worked with him. They had these lights, they'd set them up, and then one of the guys would have the app on his phone and could control the lighting from his phone. And I thought, holy cow, I had never ever seen that before. So I was very impressed with how well that went. And that was, I wished we'd had that bigger budget so we could have delved more deeply into the lighting, which did get a little bit of its pinkies cut off because of the fact that we were rushed. But I had never seen that before, to be able to light from your phone. That was like new level for me.
Who did you like working with the most?
Who, me?
Yeah, Sean. Just
Deb. Oh no, I'm kidding.
in your early careers there with.
I don't think that's the right question. I think the question is who did I hate working with, which I'm not gonna say anymore. I mean, I used to have a big blabby mouth, but I don't anymore, thank God. So really, you love everyone. I've always loved everyone. I can appreciate everyone. It's the deadwood that gets on your nerves. That's what you really. Oh Lord, really? And you're thinking, but it's not that uncommon in show business to run into, egos that aren't balanced, because the business kind of asks you to do that. For example, I remember in my early career, I was very young and I had a lot of exposure, and I was asked to go do like Good Morning America or all these shows, or go on David Letterman or Jay Leno and all of that kind of stuff. And the job of going on these shows is to talk about yourself. And that's just like the least fun thing to do if you're not really an egomaniac and you're not really a narcissist and you're not, it sort of forces you to acquire narcissism because that's what the job is asking you to do. It's like, well, what did you think? And I'm like, who cares what I think, right? It doesn't matter. But you're trying to help the producer and you're trying to promote the show and you're trying to be useful and helpful. So you can see why people's egos get a little wacky.
Yeah, absolutely. Great explanation. Deb, how about yours? How about your early career and the influences that you've had?
I was 3 years old when I stood up in front of the TV and I turned to my parents and I said, when I grow up, I'm going to play inside there with those guys. My mom laughed and she said, well, you can only do that if you're an actor. And I looked and I was like, actor. And it embedded in my brain. And then, and then everything in my life has been about like doing that. And my mom was really, and my aunts who were my grandmother's sisters, but my grandmother died before I was born. I'm still convinced I'm the reincarnation of her, but that's a whole separate story. But my aunts, who would have been my sisters, raised me because my parents were so young when they had me, and they binged like these really cool old, I guess what then would be considered, Turner Classic Movies kind of movies. And I'd stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning, even as like a 3 and 5-year-old, watching old movies with them. And, they introduced me to just so much. And as time progressed, I started writing and acting more. Like in third grade, a full-length play that I'd written won this competition and they wanted the rights to it. And I said, well, you can have the rights to it as long as I get to star in it. And that started my whole weird life. And then it was shortly after that, Blade Runner actually came out. And my parents got the VHS and my brothers and I watched it so many times. We burned it out and they had to buy another one. And we would run in the woods and pretend we would play that we were replicants and, somebody was trying to chase us and everything. So it was really funny when I finally met Sean. I'm like, you have no idea how much
the first time hearing of that.
I know. I've never told you this story. It's so funny. And I've told other people and I'm like, every time like you and I end up hanging out, I'm like, oh my God, I have to tell you the story of like our Blade Runner like videos that like got destroyed because we watched them. Like we would watch it on a Saturday afternoon, my brothers and I and some of our friends. And then after it was done, we'd rewind it and watch it again. I mean, we were like sick. We were messed up. And it's so funny because I said to myself, I wrote something in a journal recently. And I was like, how funny is it? Because like Sean and her husband had a lot to do with my ability to go off and do a job recently. And Sean's just become such like my family, really. And I thought to myself, if I could go back in time and tell that little girl that was running in the woods, like, not only will you know Sean, but she'll be one of your favorite people in your life. What would have happened? I'd be like, you're so full of shit, Deb. What the hell are you thinking?
That's so
life is funny, isn't it?
Yeah, no, and it's like literally, I mean, but the craziest part is like, there's so many cool people that I've met, but literally like out of everyone, like Sean means so much more because of the fact that like, she was part of, really important things in my growth. And, the fact that we are friends and I've gotten the amazing opportunity to work with her over and over and over and over again. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like,
good life.
And yeah, really good life and massive gratitude. And I just really want to like keep doing all this. Like even as I'm sitting here and I'm watching everyone and I've been watching the clips and like I had this epiphany. I was like, oh my gosh, we need to do our own Zoom soon and come up with an idea for a script about like some political or business thriller about crypto. And like I have a distributor that will give me money to like make a movie and we'll make a movie. And we'll even have like Jonathan with his puppets and everything.
And Deb's like this all the time, by the way. I have to send some Xanax soon, to get her to relax, right?
No, this is wonderful. No relaxing.
No, I know. Deb and I've been in two of Deb's films, and it's
like
Deb's like three. Deb's like the Energizer bunny that is never out. She's I'm a little more mellow as a result of being older, but it's nice to have that kind of energy and enthusiasm. Enthusiasm in show business is quite important. I feel that way about Ed.
Yeah, absolutely. The enthusiasm for life generally. I'm involved in a lot of progressive politics. So Cornel West and James Gilligan. So we could keep that energy going. We'll work all together. Ed, how about you? Were you watching Blade Runner? What old movies were you watching?
I was actually, and I'm in the Sean camp of like hating to talk about myself, but I mean, when I was little, like by the time I was like in third grade, I said I'm going to be a stand-up comedian, and I didn't do anything. I never actually. I mean, I liked being funny. That was it.
I can see you as that.
That's it. I knew that's what I'm going to do, even though I didn't go near it. But what really influenced me when I was little was, do you remember? Are you from New York?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, on Channel 5 on Saturday nights, they used to have something called Saturday Night at the Bijou, which they'd show like at 11 o'clock on Channel 5, and it would be like this old movie theater with the old organ music. And they always started out with something called a Pete Smith specialty, which was this narrated clip, this comedy clip of like, sort of slice of life stuff that to me, what for some reason was just like the most like, like inspiring thing. And I just started to write, kind of like stories like that and said, okay, well, screw the, stand-up comedian. I'm going to be a writer now. But as I got older, I just did as much acting as I could in high school and college. And when I went to SUNY Purchase. When I was there, I was considering auditioning for the theater department, which I did. But before I did that, my first year, I was in the liberal arts college, and the dean of the theater arts school decided he couldn't stand what the acting students were doing and just wanted to work with non-actors or non-official actors. So I got big parts in 3 plays that we did there in like the brand new Performing Arts Center and everything. And for me, that sort of got into my head. It's something that requires a lot of work, that you need to have emotional maturity for it, which I didn't feel like I did when I was 18. And that if it was going to take me longer, which it wound up doing, I would just have to I would just have to wait until I was ready to do it. So, I mean, my trajectory is very different from Deb and Sean. I mean, I worked, I had pretty much a business IT kind of career. And now that I can afford to do it, as Sean was saying before too, it's so much more fun and rewarding, and you get to work on projects and, meet all kinds of people now that I probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to do when I was younger, because especially in my case, pretty boys were a dime a dozen. So,
oh my, yeah. Listen, I see you as still a stand-up. So, it's not too late for that. Listen, oh man, we got a minute to go here. Jonathan, take us, what do they say in show business?
Take us out.
Take us out here. We've got, yes, unfortunately, we're being told so what's the next project? We got all kinds of energy here. Jonathan.
Well, I've got all kinds of scripts ready to shoot. So got to find some money out there, investors, producers, talk to me. We'll see what we can do to keep this thing going. But right now we're promoting this film as much as we can. Want to get it out there. Go to thedummydetectivemovie.com. Everybody out there, that website, that page really just right now is a placer holder page that has everything. It has all the links to the current platforms where the movie can be watched, because we're updating it as more platforms are added, because we're going to be licensed. We are licensed on Tubi, that will be released soon, and then we're expecting a few more platforms. But right now, Amazon Prime is the main one. So go there. thedummydetectivemovie.com. It also has links to all our social media right there, and it has links to reviews and all kinds of stuff.
And also around the world, it's going to be playing, correct?
Yes, we expect it to be released in various countries soon.
Various countries. Okay, this is brilliant. Bravo. Thank you all so very, very much. I wish we had more time. We'll do this again. I really love meeting you all, and let's do this again. Good luck to you all, and happy holidays. Thank you so very, very much.
Thank you.
For being on Radical Imagination today.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, you guys.
Bye. And thank you so very, very much for watching us again here on The Radical Imagination. This is Jim Vredos. We'll see you again next week on The Radical Imagination.